Hey, what's up? Just forgot how all of this stuff works. Today's a test run. Shit. Yeah. Um, I forgot how this whole streaming thing works, to be honest. It's been a while. What's up, everybody? Okay, so I took this just now. It was a bit risky coming into the 4 hour close, and it was a bit choppy as well. Um, but 4 hours looking decent here. We can maybe get some more entries. So I just want to adjust my orders here, and then we can get to it. Lovely. I'm actually going to close out full here. Coming into that 1940 level, had a nice push. So I'm pretty happy with that. If NYSE gives a setup, try again. I'm a little bit unprepared for today. Yeah, I thought why not? Let's get back into the streams. Yeah, New York session, it's a bit of a change, but for gold, New York session is it. Um, I've been trading London session for some time and doing really well on gold, but the last couple months were a bit tricky. Those breakout entries were just getting very tough, and that was really my style. And I had to adapt my style a little bit. Started to wait for pullbacks, and London session was giving those setups. The adjustments made were working, but I was having a look at the same setups in New York session, waiting for some sort of pullback. After you've got clear volume in the market, and it's just a game changer. It's like it doesn't make sense to sit there for London. So um let's get to it. Alright, so I'm just gonna go over my weekly analysis here for gold, where I was wanting to see some pullbacks to 1950, 1955 to potentially then see continuations down. But through the day, we've already been moving quite bearish here. No sort of pullbacks or structure, which I don't really like. I like when London leaves some sort of structure for you to work with. Today, you didn't really get, it was just straight downside, then started to get choppy. Just looking at the daily, just going based off the daily candles here, uh, we had this support basically at 1945 on the daily, broke below, and then this could be a potential retest here of this 1945 level to continue down. But at the same time, your daily being bullish, closing back above 1940, which is a key level here to the left as well. And then going to the 4 hour. Okay, not that 4 hour. Let's go to Orlando. Orlando here, we can see that this 4 hour closed bullish. So we've got Friday's candle closing bullish, the 4 hour candle closing bullish. we're seeing this bullish volume. These could be pullbacks to form resistance to potentially continue down. We are in a bit of a tricky area on gold. But here above 38 and even safer above 40, I would like to be looking for the buys. We'll keep an eye on this area that price is sitting in right now for rejections. If we do get those rejections, maybe off 1940, then we could potentially be looking to come back down. But yeah, we came into this support area. You'll see on the 4 hour as well. Came into that support area, basically your daily support here at about 1933, and had quite a strong rejection. Current 4 hour has no bottom wick. I don't really care about bottom wicks, top wicks. I'm not concerned about that kind of thing these days. But we could definitely see a bottom wick being formed on this 4 hour. So let's just keep that in mind. That actually would be quite nice if we form that bottom wick, come up to then break these highs, and then maybe get a setup here above 40. So that trade that I had on the screen just now, the idea behind this was that we had been coming down the whole day. We saw quite low volume, and then at COMEX open you saw some volume to the upside. You saw a kind of like a break of this structure. We were in this range. I don't want to dive too deep into a range ever, but what I was seeing here is that we had that volume to the upside. So in your session or whenever you're trading, you want volume. But you know, this move, like, I'm not interested in this move. I don't care about getting in at these lows. I want this volume to be present. I want to see that, okay, we are moving here. Then you wait for some sort of pullback. And once you've got some sort of confirmation that price is going to continue in that direction, fuck guys, NYSE is so clean. It is so clean. So yeah, the idea here was just 5 minute setup, nice volume to the upside after seeing very low volume. And then, like I say, 4 hour daily were both bearish. So coming into the 4 hour close, I was kind of just betting that it would close bullish, just based off the lower time frame price action and the daily candle from Friday being bullish as well, like I say. So you saw here this minor pullback, support formed. Yes, we had this resistance right here. Yes, it was very close, but I mean, look at the stop. 5 minute just gives you such decent stops, 16 pips. I won't lie, I actually had it a bit lower here. I had it below 35. But like 20 pip stop, secured about nearly 30 pips there. And yeah, that was the idea. You saw that volume continue to the upside. We're above this 38 level, which I'm very interested in. You can see it was basically the resistance here of this range. Okay, and then we were respecting that level this morning as well. So here, London session, you actually had some sell-offs from that 38 level. So back above 38, I am interested in the buys, but we have to see what happens at 40 if we reject. What's the story? But yeah, really just going to be a waiting game now. See how we close on this 30-minute candle. See if NYSE gives you some sort of pullback. And then yeah, just looking to see some sort of setup on the 5 minute. Not too much to it really. It's a CAD bank holiday today. We'll see how that affects things. Not too much else happening today. Tomorrow also fairly quiet, and then Wednesday also quiet. Thursday got CPI though. So CPR will be that'll be fun. We'll stream CPR. Friday PPR. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. DXY. Um, yeah, interesting situation here on the dollar. So that 101 level was very key for a long period of time. We had that improved inflation report, the CPR, on back in July, and you basically saw this capitulation of the dollar. And then, we had a few good data reports, and we broke back above 101, even back above 102. So above 101, I'm more bullish overall. You can even see this structure here, nice and bullish on the 4 hour. But right now, we formed the support, and then all of a sudden you just got this bearish engulfing candle. So the likelihood of us continuing back up to these highs right now, it's not looking ideal. You might get deeper pullbacks. You might range in this area for a bit. But yeah, I just like to get an overview of what's happening with the dollar. So around this 102 level will be interesting to see if we hold in this area, find support again to continue back up to these highs, or if we break below. And that should give you a bit more clear direction on gold as well, because right now, it's just a bit choppy. With the way I'm approaching things now, um, I'm also not too concerned with higher time frame trends. Like if I'm trading the 5 minutes, I'm looking for a setup on the 5 minute. So if I can get a 30 pip TP with a 12 pip stop, regardless of what the dollar is doing, regardless of even what the higher time frame is doing, if I can see on that particular session that volume is in that direction and I see a setup, I'm going to take it. But still nice to have an idea of what's going on here with the higher time frames on the dollar and gold. Haven't actually done any sort of breakdowns for the community in a while, so also just going over, maybe you can start at the monthly. I mean, really your monthly is in a range here as well. And we're sitting at these all-time highs where we've seen massive sell-offs before. But we did close bullish on last month's candle. The weekly is telling a different story, where we've got this resistance here at 1960. Got a nice bearish engulfing candle there last week. But overall, you're just in a range. Which is tough, like I say, with the way I was approaching London, these market conditions are very tough. Very, very tough. You just look at the last 6 months or so, gold has been extremely choppy. Go back another 6 months, and you get some really nice clean movement here. Clear trend. Even the whole of last year, we had that nice bearish trend here on gold. But yeah, these last 6 months have been treacherous waters, you could say. Sound is low. Yeah, guys, you're gonna have to be patient with me today. Sound was really low, yeah? Just trying to get back into the swing of things. I'll also make sure there's some background music on here tomorrow. I don't think I have it on today. So I like what's going on. I like that we're getting this nice clean move. I mean, this is really just testament to what I'm saying about New York. London session, bullshit. Bullshit price action. Look at this. Just nice, clean, one-sided movement. All you need is some sort of pullback now, and you're good to go. NYSE generally will give you that pullback to some sort of key level. Where we've got 1940 here, and we've also got that 1938 level. And then you just need to wait for confirmations. Because we could get a pullback to those levels at NYSE, and you just click the buy button, and then, you know, we continue down to like 1930. So you got to wait for the confirmations, like I say. Hey, but how's everyone doing? Is there anyone new here today, or is everyone just returning? I know it's been a while. India, Pretoria. Hey, Uncle Ned. How are you, brother? Corpse, Justin. What's up, K? NY is where the bangers happen, 100%. Oh. Hey, what's up, Emil? Yeah, it's nice to be back. It is nice to be back. I was kind of like indecisive if I should stream today, and then I saw this range and I was like, nah. And then saw a bit of volume there, and I thought, okay, let's just do it. I was sitting here hovering over the go live now, and I was like, should I now? But you know what? It feels good. Still no bottom wick on that 4 hour. Not too concerned, but just need to be careful of that pullback at NYC. See if you maybe pull back into this 38 level, get that bottom wick, find support on the lower time frame, and then move back up here. It's too lonely without the streams. I'm sorry, brother. Be back. I did have a few people message me about the streams, and I told them what's up, like I'm trading New York now. And I was like, I was wondering if I should stream New York because there's quite a few New York streamers in that already. I would say it's quite saturated, but guys say like that my audience, they want to watch me. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who supports me, who supports the channel, who's here to learn and to better themselves. So yeah, let's do it. I'm sure this will probably be a better NY stream than what's out there already. No 60 pip stops. Yeah, I think maybe New York session needs a no, fuck. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But yeah, maybe New York session just needs someone coming in from a different perspective or who has a different perspective. Because I know who's big in the New York streams, and it's tough, man. It's tough using a 60 pip stop. Eight minutes here until NYSE. So we already are finding some sort of minor resistance, looking to possibly pull back. If you do get that pullback before NYSE and you're getting a nice confirmation, um, yeah, we might have something lining up at NYSE, or maybe wait another 5 minutes. Stop loss open, TP open. Goodness. My whole thing is like, you need an approach that you personally can do consistently. Something that you can replicate on a day-to-day basis and have an edge and be consistently profitable. So, you come across someone's stream and you see, oh, this guy's doing great, whatever. Maybe even take his same trades, but you're not finding it's really working for you. And then you got to try different things because some guys genuinely do have an 80-90% win rate. And normally when I'm speaking and 90% win rate comes into the conversation, I say, okay, that guy's a fucking scammer. But there's some guys who do it, but you need to understand the trade-off. In order to achieve and sustain a 80-90% win rate, your risk to reward is going to be extremely low. I know that for a fact. You're not going to maintain that win rate by taking 1 to 2, 1 to 3 positions. Think about it. If your stop loss is 10 pips, your TP is 20 pips. You, based off of your analysis, your system, yes, this is going to be a high probability trade. But if you take a loss, just based off the distance to your TP and your stop loss is closer. You know what I mean? But you're going to be losing less. Whereas if you have a 50 pip stop, a 10 pip target, I mean, obviously there's a higher likelihood you hit your target, right? But what about those situations where you take the loss? Now you've wiped out 5 trades in one loss. And the thing is, most people cannot handle that psychologically. So you need to see what works for you. Because some people can genuinely function with this approach. But can you? I can't. It's just putting the probabilities against you. And I'm not calling out anybody. I'm not beefing with anybody. Each to their own. What works for you, and I respect that completely. But you, as a viewer, you as someone who is trying to learn, need to be aware and open to these things. What works for you? You know, if the style resonates with you, if it works for you, psychologically you can function well and make logical decisions using that approach, then great. But I know if I'm taking a full stop and I'm mapping out 5 to 10 trades, it's gonna hurt me. My next trade is gonna be a retard trade, 100%. I'm gonna go revenge trade, and most of you will as well. I'm sure you can admit that. As soon as I take trades on other pairs, I take a loss. Don't trade other pairs. You might just push here at NYC, to be honest. But if that pullback comes in, we're looking good. We're looking really good. Nice pullback to 1940 and it's looking lovely. We did a Zoom call the other day with some of the guys. And then this was the trade we took on NFP. So, you know, you had this volume, clear volume, and then pullback coming into NYSE, retested the same 1940 level actually. So let's see if we get a similar idea here. Pull back into 1940, support formed on the 5, and then looking for that clean continuation. Hey, what's up, Mr. Wayne? The Wayne in the house. I don't really like the price action coming into NYSE. Might even pull back to 1938. Give me a second, I'll be back now. I think I might grab. Please don't. Okay, here we go, boys. So NYSE, we close nice and bullish there on the 30-minute, closing above 40. I like that. So the idea here is to, with volume, potentially even move up to 1945. Just need a pullback here at NYSE. So there you got a nice bottom wick. I'm not really going based off the 30-minute candle, so I'm not really looking at like candle flips or nonsense like that. I would like to see some sort of structure, nice clean structure, nice setup here on the 5. So we could pull back into this 1939, 1938 zone. Got a lot of rejections here in the past. Keep in mind that no bottom wick on the 4-hour, so coming back into 1938 does not look bad. But at this point, I definitely want to see a nice clear pullback support formed. If you break these highs right here, you could potentially just get a push, a nice continuation here. I'm not really interested in that trade. I'm really favoring the pullbacks. Also, with a position like that, your stop is just unnecessarily big. Risk to reward is bad as well. That's not a position I need to take on a Monday. Might come down, create the bottom wick on the 4-hour. Yeah, hopefully that will actually be quite good. You see, the other thing is the whole day we've been moving bearish. So if you wanted to continue bearish, maybe you needed a deeper pullback here to see that continuation to the downside. Just remember, I'm going based off the 4-hour and daily being bullish as well. That's why I'm looking for these buys here. But if you're rejecting and you're holding below 1940, breaking back below 1938, could come back down to, 1934, 1933. But this range is very tough. So I don't really want to see us breaking back into this range. Okay, we've tapped this general area here. Not coming quite into 38 and getting that bottom wick, but I don't necessarily need that to pull all that way back. I like this reaction here. Just need to wait for confirmations, which would be a bullish 5-minute candle closure or like a doji. I don't have zoom out here, so can't really draw real nice. Yeah, what's up, Nico? Do you still trade 15, 30-minute, 1-hour candles? Yeah, I do have a look at them, but I'm not necessarily using them for entries. Not in this time. Think about this setup, okay? If I were taking it how I would take a trade in the past or in London session. Most likely I would be taking it on the break of this high right here. Alright, stops below the current candle, whatever, and then it makes sense to target here. But because that risk to reward is bad, maybe I'll try and push, and I would want 1950. And 100 pips on a Monday, CPR on Thursday. It doesn't even really make sense, to be honest. Whereas here on the 5 minute, you know, if you get that support formed, then we can target an area that's a lot closer and makes a lot more sense, all while getting a much better risk to reward. And when there's volume, I mean, it makes sense to scale in, right? Because you can get like 50 pip, 30-minute, 15-minute candle in the right time. But if you're waiting for confirmations on a 30-minute or 15-minute candle, you'll probably miss that move. So yeah, at the end of the day, price action is price action. Still paying attention to higher time frames, the higher time frame candle closures. Still waiting for candles to close, structure, so forth. But the entries are a little bit different. Did you do Zoom? No, I never. Let's see how this 5 closes here in 2 minutes. I think it would be nice if we got this candle closing above 1940, to be honest. Okay, better. With the previous 5 being so bearish, I do definitely want to wait for this candle to close. And then as soon as the next 5 minute breaks the high of this candle, I'm going to be taking buys. So I'm not going to call out numbers and buy stops and whatnot. I'm just letting you guys know how I'm taking this trade. So I got my finger on the trigger here, got 25 seconds. Stops will be below this structure here. So it's looking like potentially 20 to 25 pip stops. And there we go. Candle closed nice and bullish. As we break that high, and then execute. Okay. Okay, so I've taken bars right here. Stops are below the previous 5. Let's call it 1938.1. Looking to move up to 1945. I don't really want to see us breaking back below 1940. Could still get a steeper bottom wick on this current 5. But yeah, I mean, in this time, you're not really wanting to see pullbacks and too much drawdown. So you can manage quite aggressively as well. Risk to reward is not necessarily a 1, 2, 3 or anything out of this world, but hopefully, if it goes against you, you can manage a little bit more aggressively as well. Last 5 of the 15, I would like to see the 15 actually flipping bullish or at least holding above 40. So it's going to be, we can definitely manage based off what's going on here on this 5. Tap 1940, seem to be respecting it. I think once we break this high again, should get a nice push. Last couple minutes of the 15. Come on, gold. One minute still holding above 40. And you see, once we break these highs, you could even bring your stop in. Mm. You're not concerned about the 30-minute resistance to the left? No. Yeah, that strong 1 minute candle there is not not nice, should I say. Got a minute here for this 15-minute candle to close. This 5 looks like it may close bearish. 40 seconds, so based off of that lower time frame price section, I'm going to close out 50%. Can always add that back. Yeah, 15's closing bearish there. Not the end of the world. You have had a nice reaction to this 38 level, but the 5 closing back bearish back below 1940. I'm not in love with that. But I've already closed out partials here. So I'm gonna rock with this for now, and then I might add back that half a position on basically the like the 30-minute flip. So if we get back up to here, I'll add back that position. No, no way. Yeah, breaking that bearish 5-minute low. I don't like that. I'm gonna close out full. Yeah, negative about 20 pips. 15, 16 pips. So, you know, keep the risk small there. And like I say, based off of, that original stop, the risk reward was just less than like a 1 to 2. But where I've managed here, I'm losing less than I initially planned to lose. So you had some nice volume coming into this new 4-hour candle. Had no bottom wick on that current 4-hour. So it looks like we'll come and get that bottom wick there. But I liked where we were reacting here. Nice strong bullish candle on the 5. Exactly what I want to see. So happy with that. But let's see. Let's stay for 4 o'clock. There's 13 minutes here. Like I said, if we're breaking back below 38, it's going to be very challenging. You're breaking back into this range. May have some further downside, but going to be very tricky. Tapping 38, so let's see how you react. I think just the fact that we're breaking below the support that you formed here is showing me that there's not really the volume I want to see for that continuation. This was probably the move here. Yeah, it's definitely looking more like a rejection to this area. So if I were wanting to adapt, and to take sells, it would just be the same story but in reverse here, where I would want to see a pullback probably to this 38 level, found resistance, and then looking to come down into 35, 33. Made $80. Worst chicken. When is today's stream ending? It ends when it ends, to be honest. There's no real time limit, but I don't want to keep them too long. Especially in this time, like, I don't need to sit here for too long. I started the chart a little bit earlier than the stream because I didn't know if I would stream today. And then I took these bars before the stream, unfortunately. But then, I mean, for my session, like from 2:30 to 4, um, if there's nothing lining up at 4, then I'm pretty much done for the day, you know. That hourly looks strong, strong rejection. Yeah, so maybe you were just grabbing some liquidity after this bearish move from Asian and London session. You needed a bit more liquidity to continue on down. So we've grabbed that liquidity. If this hourly closes bearish, the sells don't look too bad because you got a very nice strong rejection. Nice bearish volume. I don't mind giving it another shot. DXY is reacting to that 102 level. Interesting. Danny, you better share that Woolies chicken, brother. Cookie flavored. So the only reason I'm really willing to stay around um, is, like I said earlier on, I just want to see that volume is present. I want to see that there's clear volume in one direction. So, you know, we had this push up here at Comex, minor pullback. That's where I got in for those initial buys. And then, you know, we had that pullback at NYSE. You had a support formed. I was anticipating that we continued this bullish move, but did discuss the potential to reject this 1940 zone. So I really like that we had closed above 1940 on that 5 minute, but obviously, you know, we're seeing those rejections from the zone now. It's never going to react to a level, or most times it's not going to react to a level exactly. So we broke back below 1940, and you've seen some very nice volume to the downside. And then going based off the hourly, like I say, you got a very nice rejection there on that hour. Looks like you'll close bearish here in 5 minutes. 30 minutes is engulfing. So all you really need on the new hourly candle is a pullback to retest 38. That'll be ideal if you could pull back here to this level. Wow, okay. That's amazing, man. That's really amazing. I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy for you. You know, at the end of the day, it comes down to you though. You put in the work, so well done. You deserve everything that's coming your way. One thing I like about waiting for these pullbacks, if you tell yourself, okay, I want to wait for a pullback, and then that becomes like a non-negotiable, and you see price pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're not getting that pullback, you because you like I say, you've made it like a non-negotiable with yourself. You're not FOMOing into trades because we're just pushing and pushing here, and then this hourly will close bearish, and maybe you want to just jump in as soon as we break that new hourly low, and then we get the pullback, and then you get clapped. There was this day, what is it, ADP, this day. If we go to a 5 minute, you'll see I sat through this whole what, like 300-400 pip move. I wasn't at the charts, I didn't sit through it, but I sat down at about NYSE and I thought, fuck, this is amazing. We've got nice volume. Just gotta wait for that pullback. Never pulled back. And you know what? I didn't get a trade. Is what it is. This hour is strong bearish. Very strong. Engulfing the previous hour. I'm anticipating us to at least come down into 32.5, potentially 1930. So if we can get some sort of pullback here to 1938, that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, we're below this 35 level now. So if you are closing below here, if you're closing below this zone, or even right at this zone, looks like we will here in a minute. You'll see on the hourly why. So if we can close below this support here on the 30, with all this volume, if you do get a pullback to 1935, I could be open to those sells as well. Nice volume. So yeah, it looks like this move up was just a liquidity grab. All right, So you closed very nice and bearish there on the hour. You don't have much range down here to the support. That's the one issue. But if we do get a pullback, you know, then you at least giving yourself a bit more range. But that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's done. So the reason I don't want to wait now at this point for anything else or wait for a pullback is I'd be moving into a very tricky area where I would have liked to be targeting, you know, this 4 hour support and that 1930 level. You can see those rejections there. So yeah, not in love with that. Gonna call it a day, yeah. Yeah, these sales were tough. But I mean, shit, imagine you were trading a 30 minute, 15 minute maybe. You could have said, okay, that was a rejection. I mean, a resistance formed. Yeah, that was tough for me. Gonna stay in this range again? I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's plenty of movement for the day, you know. You can only ask for so much, really. We've been up and down like 80 pips in this session. So I'm not really thinking that I'm going to squeeze out anything else from that. So that's me, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. It was nice to be back. Unfortunately, didn't start with a banger. Um, but yeah, we'll see. With the streams, um, I'm gonna be flexible. I'm not gonna be as rigid as I used to be starting at a particular time. I'll start when I start. I'd expect me around, um, sorry, expect me around the 4 hour candle close. That's probably when I'll start most days. Some days I might not stream. CPI is on Thursday, so that's gonna be cool. But for instance, Wednesday, if Wednesday's looking choppy, I'm not gonna waste my time, you know. Lost a lot last week in this range. Yeah. I actually put something on my Instagram about this range because the day before NFP, I said to myself, nah, fuck that. I didn't even sit down on the Thursday before NFP. And reason being is we were just in a range. Um, you know, it was very, very tough, choppy price action, and you could see that already coming into Thursday that you were just in a range, and then just keeping in mind that you have NFP tomorrow, you just got to ask yourself what's going to be moving markets today. Um, you know, if the big boys are waiting for NFP, then the price action is kind of just random, as you can see. I mean, on Thursday, you were just bouncing up and down in this range. Sure, you could have been like scaled in and taking sells off of the resistance, looking to sell to the bottom of the range or whatever the case. But these are not really ideal market conditions. And like I say, this price action at this point is just random. There's nothing actually driving the market. I mean, there's, as you can see, today at least you had some nice clear direction. Like I say, it was a bit tough for me to capitalize on that, but we'll be back. Take it easy, guys. Keep in mind CPR this week, we back in the same range from before NFP. You don't want to get caught in this range. If you made that mistake leading up to NFP, don't make the same mistake again this week. If you're breaking below 1930, yeah, if you're breaking below 1930, then we could maybe look for some more downside. Otherwise, in this range between like 1940 and 1930, it's very tough. And if you're coming down into 1930 now, not breaking below, which I don't think you will, coming this late into the session, and then yeah, it's just gonna be tough. This daily might give you a nice clear direction if we are closing bearish here below like 1934, even better below 1930. Then tomorrow might not be too bad, just based off how the daily candle's closing. But just careful in that range. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow.